All right, focus question for today is how do I find page 846. Page 846. How do I find the lateral and surface area of a prism? How do I find the lateral area and surface area of a prism? The lateral area is equal to the sum of the lateral faces. The sum of the lateral faces. The formula for that is lateral area equals capital P, big letter P, times lowercase h. All right. The L represents the lateral area. Capital P represents the perimeter of the base. And the lowercase h represents the height of the prism. Lateral area, that's the sum of the lateral faces. Formulas. The lateral area equals the perimeter of the base times the height. Okay, if you picture this classroom as a prism, the floor and the ceiling would be the bases. All right, the bases of a solid prism are the parallel faces. Okay, the floor is parallel to the ceiling. So those two shapes are the base. So the perimeter of the floor in here times the height of one of the walls would give you the lateral area. Okay? Would also represent the area of all the walls. If you took the area of each wall and added it together, that represents the lateral area. The area of all the walls is the same as the perimeter of the entire base times the height of one of the walls. Does that make any sense? All right, so surface area means total surface area. It means the area of all the walls plus the area of the ceiling and the floor. Okay? So surface area is L, which represents the lateral area, the area of the walls or the area of the sides, plus 2 times uppercase B. The big letter B represents the area of the base. And since there's 2 of them, you multiply it by 2. Anybody confused? Y'all understand the difference between lateral area and surface area? Lateral area is when you're just finding the area of the walls. Surface area is when you're finding the area of the walls and then you're adding the area of the 2 bases, the top and the bottom of the shape. Sometimes the bases are on the left and the right hand side though if the shape is turned over on its side. Yes?
So when you're searching for surface area, you first have to find that lateral area and then plug it in?
Yes. Lateral area plus the area of the bases. All right, so let's look at a couple shapes. All right, so in this prism, the first thing you want to identify is, if you're asked to find the lateral area, your lateral area equals the perimeter of the base times the height. And you're also going to be asked to find the surface area. Surface area is equal to the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay? So in this shape, the shape of the base, okay, the two sides that are parallel to each other. What are the shapes of the sides that are parallel to each other?
Triangles, right triangles.
The triangles are the two sides that are parallel to each other. So in this case, this triangle in the front and the triangle that's in the back are your bases, okay? So once you identify the shape of your bases, you can move forward. Now, to get your lateral area, you need the perimeter of the base. The base is a triangle. What are you missing to find the perimeter of this base? Yes? The hypotenuse. Very good. So you need that hypotenuse. So it's a right triangle, so 49 plus 64 equals c squared. And 49 plus 64 is that 113 equals c squared, and if you square root each side, 10.6. 10.6 equals c. So your perimeter of the base is 10.6 plus 7 plus 8. 25.6. Now, you're going to multiply that times the height of the prism. And what is the height of the prism? 10. 10, very good. So your lateral area is going to be 256. Now, your surface area is equal to your lateral area, which you now know is 256, plus 2 times the area of the base. The area of the base is the red shape again. It's a triangle. So your big letter B, area of the base, is going to be equal to 0.5 times this gets confusing sometimes, okay, times the base times the height. All right, because now you're talking about this triangle, and its base and height are 8 and 7. Okay, don't get that confused with the height of the prism. So half of 8 is times 7, 28. So your big letter B, or the area of this base, is 28. So your surface area, your total surface area of this triangular prism is 256 plus 2 times 28. It's 312. Any questions on finding the lateral area or finding the total surface area?
Is it okay if we cut SA instead of S? To help
Yeah,
with-
SA first, yeah. And a couple of years ago it was listed as TSA, which made sense. Total surface area. Okay?
It's not a right triangle.
Excuse me?
What if it's not a right triangle?
If it is not a right triangle,
Yeah.
then you got to find the area of it anyway. You would have to. Depends. I don't think you have any in this section that aren't a right triangle. We're going to talk about one of these problems in a second. You would go back to your rules about maybe it's a regular triangle, meaning all the sides are the same, so you would have to find the apothem. All right. You may be given an angle. Well, if you're given an angle and you use sine, cosine, tangent, it would have to be a right triangle. They're going to have to give you enough information to find the area of it. If it's not a right triangle, it's going to have to be a triangle where they're either going to give you the apothem and you have to find one of the sides, or they're going to give you one of the sides and it's a regular triangle or a regular shape and you can find the area of it. Look at page 850. And look at number 9. Number 10 on the same page. What is the area of the, or what is the shape of the base? It's a hexagon, isn't it? And that hexagon looks something like this. So you're going to need the perimeter of this hexagon, aren't you? And then you're also going to need the area of this hexagon. Now this is 3. And this piece is 2. So what's this piece right here? 2, 3. So you can add those up to find the perimeter of the base, can't you? And the height is given. Now, when you're finding the area of this base, they tell you that this is a square and then it's got an isosceles triangle on top of it. So this area in the middle is going to be equal to what? 9. Good. 3 times 3. Area of a square. Now, this triangle that's on top is the same as the triangle that's on bottom. But the area of this triangle is going to be, it's going to be 0.5 times the base times the height, isn't it? Well, if this piece here is 3, then what would half of it be? Okay, so if you drop a vertical in here, this would be 1.5. And now you could use the Pythagorean theorem to find this height, can't you? All right, you could do h squared plus 1.5 squared equals 2 squared. So in the second part of the problem, when you got to do S equals L plus 2 times the area of the base, the big letter B in this problem is the area of this triangle on the top plus the triangle on the bottom plus this square that's in the middle. Don't forget to add those 3 together. All right? Or you can find the area of the triangle on top, multiply it by 2, and add the square to it. Number 11. What's the shape of the base? Rectangle. Good. And number 12? Square. 13. Triangle. And 14? Triangle. Okay? So your assignment for today is page 850.